The first thing Liam noticed about apartment 2B was the smell. It wasn't the simple mustiness of cheap graduate housing. It was more complicated a scent that crept into the back of your throat. Sour, almost chemical, with an underlying metallic tang that made him recoil. The apartment itself was miserable. The fluorescent kitchen light buzzed endlessly, casting a sickly yellow glow across grimy tiles. But Liam's student loans had already drained him dry. This was the only place he could afford, which meant he would have a roommate. His roommate was Julian. And Julian had been a ghost long before anything strange began. A final-year medical student, he seemed to exist only at odd hours. Liam would wake to find dishes move or hear the toilet flush weakly at 3 in the morning. In the first 2 weeks, they spoke exactly 3 times, each time Julian avoiding eye contact. He was gaunt, a bundle of bones swallowed by an oversized hoodie. His skin carried the gray tint of old newspaper, his lips dry and cracked. But it was Julian's silence that unnerved Liam the most. He moved through the apartment without a sound. He was an absence, a hollow space in the air. Then it started. A Tuesday night, a storm pounding against the windows, wind shrieking through the warped frames. Liam was reading when he heard it. A click from the kitchen. He held his breath. The usual groans of the old building didn't sound like this. Click, dot, 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 click, dot, 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 dry, brittle, like snapping twigs, or ice cracking in a glass. Liam set his book down. Julian? His voice shook. Nothing. Just the rain. Click, click, click. The sound sharpened, sped up, then stopped. Liam froze, heart hammering. He told himself it was the fridge. Its compressor always sounded like a dying diesel engine. He tried to read again, but the words just swam before his eyes. The next night, it came again. But this time, it wasn't just clicking. There was a new sound, a tearing, scraping noise. Fear curdled into a cold unease. He crept out of bed. The thin wooden floor groaned, but it was drowned out by the kitchen noise. Click, scrape. The hallway was pitch black. The only light came from a sickly street lamp and a thin strip beneath the kitchen door. He heard breathing harsh, ragged, not Julian's quiet kind. He pushed the door open. The hinges shrieked. Inside, darkness dominated, except for one source of light. The refrigerator, its door open, casting a cold white glow on a crouching figure. Julian. His back was to Liam, shoulders twitching, trembling in short, jerky spasms. The hoodie hung on him, but he seemed oddly twisted, his posture unnatural, almost like his body was bending in impossible ways. Julian. Man, Liam stammered. You okay? The movement stopped. The air thickened, heavy with that metallic stench, stronger now, like something long forgotten decaying in the heat. Julian? Slowly, he rose. He didn't turn immediately. He just stood there, back still facing Liam, as if weighing something. Then he turned, too smooth, too fast. The fridge light illuminated his face from below. His eyes were wide, completely blank, milky white, reflecting the light like glass marbles. And his expression, it was unnatural, almost inhuman. He held something in his hand, but Liam couldn't see it clearly. It was just twisted, shadowed, alien. Julian made a low, feral hiss, a sound that didn't belong to a human. Liam screamed, stumbling backward, tripping, crashing into the dark hallway. Then he heard footsteps fast, crawling Julian's shadow filling the doorway. The movement was wrong, joints bending at impossible angles. Liam bolted to his room, slamming the door, twisting the lock. Metal clicked just as a heavy weight slammed against the other side. Thud, thud. Get out, Liam screamed, his voice cracking. Julian, get out. Silence. He pressed his back to the door, feeling every vibration. He could hear breathing on the other side, wet, ragged, and that smell. rust and decay seeping through the cracks. Then, scratching, soft, slow. Fingernails, or maybe not fingernails, dragging along the wood grain. Liam didn't sleep that night. Curled in the corner, clutching a heavy lamp, he endured the scratching for hours patient, steady fading only just before dawn. When the sun rose, trembling with exhaustion, Liam called campus security. 2 officers arrived, tired and unimpressed. Liam tried to explain. Strange movements, unnatural sounds, white eyes. They sighed, assuming it was stress or exhaustion. They knocked on Julian's door. No answer. They used a master key. The room was empty. Bed neatly made. Desk spotless. Closet bare. Julian had vanished. But the kitchen remained. The stench hit hard. The fridge was open. Empty. On the floor where Julian had crouched, a dark, sticky patch remained. And in the center, a single small object, a cracked fragment, ambiguous and unsettling. Liam moved out immediately. He slept on a friend's floor for a week, until housing found him a single room on the far side of campus. Weeks passed. Fall turned to winter. Liam began to feel safe. The strange noises stopped. He almost convinced himself it had all been a vivid, stress-induced nightmare. He was finally sleeping through the night again, until a Thursday. It was midnight, and he was in the shared bathroom, brushing his teeth. The light flickered, and its hum died. He rinsed, spat. His reflection stared back, tired, thin, pale. But his eyes, they looked emptier than usual. A tingling sensation started in his gums, a dull ache. He opened his mouth. Something inside felt wrong, almost alive. And then he smelled it. Not from the hallway, not from the drain, from himself. A faint scent metallic, like old coins. He stepped back, his heart racing. He spat into the sink again. The white foam was streaked with a dark, uncanny hue. He swallowed, his throat dry. Suddenly, an uncontrollable hunger arose not for food, but for something primal, unexplainable. A cold emptiness inside demanded to be filled. He ran to his room, slamming the door. He tore open his mini-fridge, yogurt, an apple, a sandwich. Everything smelled wrong, like ash. He clutched his head, fighting the ache in his jaw, the twisting pain in his gut. He closed his eyes. He saw Julian. Those white eyes. That unnatural expression. Then he heard it. Click. In the room. Click. Click. He looked down at his own hands. His jaw tensed, grinding. The hunger roared. He walked to the window. The campus was blanketed in snow. A freshman was walking alone down the path below, headphones in, completely unaware. So small, so soft. He pressed his forehead to the cold glass, watching the moving shape outside. A hot, viscous droplet slid from his mouth, a warning of what was awakening inside him. The itch in his gums had become a pain-deep, urgent alive. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. It really helps us out. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.